Hello everyone, my name is Lynn. I am the author of the young adult novel Essence, and today I'm going to be doing a book haul. I was actually waiting to do this book haul because I just ordered a whole bunch of more books off Amazon, and there's a lot of them coming in the mail now because I do that where I buy a whole bunch at once and then I'll go like a month or so without buying any more. But then I looked at the list of books that I still had to haul and realized that there was still a whole bunch of books. So instead of doing one ginormous one, I'm going to do two separate regular ones that you'll see in like another month from now. So first up we have The Silver Linings Playbook. This is a novel that had been on my to-read list for a while and I absolutely loved it. I had actually, I believe, watched the movie first, and it has Jennifer Lawrence in it, and I bought the movie cover because, come on, this is actually a really good movie cover as far as, you know, movie book covers go. It was different from what I normally read because it is an adult novel, and it was cool. It was different from the movie, so it was kind of like a little twist ending for me. Here we have Flipped by Wendelin Deren. I hope that's how you say the name. I have no idea what this book is about, but I saw it when I went to the bookstore, and I said, that looks weird. And the best part is, you know, you have the synopsis on the back, but if you read it one way, it's one person's point of view, then you flip it, and then it's the girl's point of view. So I believe it's a love story. I can't guarantee anything, but it's short. I like having the short little novels to read in between the big gigantic ones. That way you don't get any weird reading slumps. Now we have Love and Other Perishable Things by Laura Buzo, and this one I picked up basically because it had this little award, so I thought it'd be really good, and I was actually kind of disappointed by it. I found out, for one, it takes place in Australia, so their summer is different from the American summer, where summer here is sunny. I believe theirs is snowy. I can't be completely correct on that, but their seasons are a little mixed up for me, so I was kind of confused by that. It took me a while. But it was okay. It was good, but it also wasn't like, oh my god, amazing. So I was kind of like a little disappointed, but I was still glad I picked up the book. Here we have a Nice Day by Julie Halpern, and I absolutely love this book. However, I picked it up at the bookstore because it looked like a cool little book. I did not realize the first book in this apparent series is called Get Well Soon, so I had never read that book. So I went into this and I'm like, wow, this is kind of weird. They keep having these flashbacks, but they don't go into them. Did a little research, found out it's the second book in a series, but that's okay. It still made sense, and that just means I will now have to read the first book because I absolutely adored this one. Here we have Say What You Will by Cammie McGovern. And I just finished reading this yesterday, and I picked it up having no idea what it was about, but I picked it up because someone posted the quote that's on the back on Instagram, and the quote is, "I've decided that it's possible to love someone for entirely selfless reasons, for all of their flaws and weaknesses, and still not succeed in having them love you back. It's sad, perhaps, but not tragic unless you dwell forever in the pursuit of their elusive affections." So I picked it up thinking it was going to be like one of those love stories where you try and get this guy to love you, but he doesn't. And it was kind of like that, but the girl who is the main character, I would say, she has cerebral palsy, I believe that's how you say it. And then the other boy kind of has his own mental disorder of himself. And I just thought it was really interesting because it kind of gives you a perspective on that, and not a lot of people think about what it's like to be someone who has cerebral palsy, because even though you can't really speak, that doesn't mean you're dumb, and this book lets you know that exactly, so I completely recommend it. And I got the collector's edition of Looking for Alaska by John Green. I haven't had a chance to read it yet, but I love it because look at the inside, and it's just pretty, and it has like the indent of his signature, and I thought that was awesome. I'm not a huge John Green fan, but I'm trying to look at his other stuff, and I've only heard amazing things about this book. And of course it's gotten an award, so that means it's good. So I'm looking forward to reading this, even though I haven't had a chance yet. And here we have Sever by DeStefano, and as you can see, it's an autographed copy. I follow her on Instagram, and she posted that she was signing books at a store nearby, and then It turns out that store nearby wasn't as near as I thought it was. It was still an hour away. But I called that store and they mailed this to me, and now I have an autographed copy of Sever. And I've read the first book in the series, which is Wither, and I just ordered the second book, which is Fever, and now I have Sever. So soon I'll be able to have the entire series. And as a lot of you guys know, I recently graduated high school, yay, but I also realized walking into Barnes & Noble one day that even though I went to high school, my AP English class was about composing essays, not reading novels. So I haven't really gotten a chance to read a lot of the classics. Any classics that I have read were during my freshman and sophomore year, because junior and senior year was about writing essays. So I wanted to tackle some of the classics that everybody seems to like, or somewhat like, or really love, and I went from there. So the first one I got is To Kill a Mockingbird, and I had a lot of high hopes for this one because everybody had such good things to say about it, and I thought it was really interesting. I really loved the trial and looking into that, but then after the trial I just became disinterested in it. I know it's supposed to be about, you know, growing up and all that, but I wasn't really interested in that aspect of the book. I was more interested in the trial itself and, you know, the segregation they had. Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury, and I absolutely love his short stories. My sophomore year of high school, we were reading a ton of them, and I wanted to read this really bad, but I just never got a chance to it, and I finally bought myself a copy, and I love some of his stuff, so I cannot wait to get to this. The Diary of a Young Girl by Anne Frank, and this one I am so excited to read. I always love reading the Holocaust novels because it's just so interesting to see what some people went through. And this is a diary, and I'm not always a fan of diary entries, but I am very excited to look at this one because I've been to the Holocaust Museum in Washington, D.C., and I absolutely loved it, even though I walked out wanting to, like, cry and such. But it's a subject that's, although it's very kind of tough, it's a really good thing to learn about. So that was all of my books that I have accumulated in the past few months. You'll probably see another one in another few months before I go off to college because of course I had to order another pile of books. And thank you all for watching. Be on the lookout for my YA Inc. videos where we'll be talking about writing and publishing, and don't forget to subscribe.